and not necessarily saw what happened, but certainly saw the aftermath.
We do want to head out right now because Channel 3's Patricia Del Rio was live when the governor addressed the public about this very upsetting crash of a B-17. We are heading out to Patricia now to see what she's learned. Patricia?
Yes, well, we are at the Sheraton Hotel, which is part of Bradley International Airport here in Windsor Locks. And there was a news conference at which Governor Lamont was here, Senator Blumenthal, the chief of the state police, Ravella, and an official from the airport, all providing various bits of information. So just to essentially recap much of what was said here, this plane took off around 9:45 this morning, and within 5 minutes, the plane was losing altitude, and within 9 minutes, the plane crashed. It crashed into a de-icing facility, which is used in the wintertime to de-ice the planes. We understand that there was a person on the ground in that de-icing facility, although it's not clear their condition or who that person is at this time. There were 13 people on this B-17 bomber. This is a World War II vintage plane. As Kara and Denise mentioned, there is a display going on here at the airport. People get to go for rides on these type of planes. It's kind of like a living history museum to see planes that were in World War II. So there were 13 people on this plane. 10 of them were paid passengers who took this ride, and there were 3 others, we believe a pilot, a co-pilot, and then one other individual who may be somehow associated with the company that runs these types of planes. Now, different things discussed here. We do know that people died in this plane crash. It is not clear precisely how many people died. They are being very careful about what they say. As was mentioned, there are people who are burned and who were brought to area hospitals, but they want to be very careful about what they're saying to family members because, quite frankly, this was a very fiery scene. They say that they believe that the fire was due to the fuel on the plane. And when you have those types of situations, people can get burned very badly, and it can be, quite frankly, very difficult to identify the dead very easily. So that is why they want to be very hesitant and cautious what they say to family members and friends, because they're not really clear on who is who at the moment with respect to that. It is a sad and gruesome fact. Okay, so what is happening next? Well, Senator Blumenthal was talking about how he has been in touch with the National Transportation Safety Board. It is customary for them to get involved when there are plane crashes. They are going to be sending 8 individuals here. The FBI is now involved, and they do essentially an accident reconstruction type of situation to see. Now, there are a lot of unknowns. This is a very old plane, and in modern times when planes crash, there's something called a black box on a plane that can provide quite a bit of information. It is not clear whether or not some such black device exists on this plane. So they still need to learn that and figure out what might have led to this. Was this a pilot error? Was this some sort of mechanical breakdown in the plane? These are things that are not immediately known, and oftentimes they are not known right away. It can take time to figure those things out. So they are going to be holding another press conference here in a couple of hours and try to give a bit more information. But the important thing to know, if you are expecting to get people from the airport or looking to take a flight on the airport, at the moment it continues to be shut down. They were saying during the news conference that they do hope to have one runway up and running within the next couple of hours, but they would not commit to saying what particularly that meant, how many planes would go in or out with the usage of this one runway. It should be noted that where this plane crashed is a bit of a distance from the central airport as it is functioning, but nevertheless, The airport is shut down at the moment and unclear. Now, another final thing that was brought up and is an important issue is that this plane, this B-17 bomber, is one of 18 such planes that are registered with the FAA that are currently in flight. So that would mean 17 others. Now, usually these planes are used for air shows and these types of things where people can take a ride. So Senator Blumenthal was saying that this tragic situation might provide some sort of lesson into whether or not these planes should be flying. How airworthy are they? How safe are they? When you're talking about planes that are 70 plus years old, should they be flying and taking people around? I did ask whether there were children on this plane. They did not know. We asked if there were families, who the people are, but they did not have any of that type of information. I asked whether or not this plane was maintained by folks here at the airport or whether the people, the company that owns the plane, whether they maintain it, but that could not be answered for me. So we are hoping at the next press conference that they will gather more information. And as we mentioned, there is a telephone number that families can contact to see if they can provide any information on their loved ones, and we will have that information for you on our screen, on air, and online. For now, we're live at Bradley International Airport. I'm Patricia Del Rio, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.